Some people have blasted the Sea-Doo switch as a cheap plasticky pontoon. It is, but that's not a bad thing. A lot of people get surprised by a pontoon boat that starts under 25 grand. This is where Sea-Doo is doing something kind of unique. It's unique in design, it's unique in what it can do. The whole premise, the whole idea, concept behind the Sea-Doo switch is to get people out. And the way they're doing it, they're drawing on their Sea-Doo personal watercraft DNA. But don't think of this as a luxury pontoon boat. This is not a Bennington, it's not a Harris, it's not an Avalon, it's not even a Manitou. There are 4 different kinds of switch models. They'll be explained a little later on, but let's dive into some of the details of what it's like to drive this boat. It's darn fun. It's amazing fun. The 230 supercharged horsepower has great pickup. It has amazing stability. It does well over chop, through chop. The method that provides the stability that they have is by filling up the outer pontoons. It's a tri-tune boat. So they fill the outer pontoons with a little bit of water, and that gives it the ability to really stick the turns. And it feels a little bit like a Sea-Doo when you're driving it. You can turn the handlebars in a way that is in many ways a lot easier to make sharper turns than if you have the conventional wheel at the helm station. And when you throw in the IBR system, the braking system, then you have something that is also safe. So if you're skiing, if you're towing, for example, then you have the ability to very quickly stop and maneuver, which is one of the great advantages of a great entry-level boat, a family-friendly boat. That's what they've done here. So speaking of the different horsepower possibilities that you have, if you want a lower profile, you want a naturally aspirated jet drive, then you're gonna get something that is just gonna suck water as opposed to sucking air. And you're gonna get a little better fuel burn, you're gonna get better range, and it's less noisy as well. If you're into the lounging and whatnot, then the price is going to be reflected in this. If we're talking about the cruise, 21-foot cruise, for example, if you want to go from the 170 horsepower to the 230 horsepower, we're talking a step up that involves $3,000. So for $3 grand, that's the trade-off you get. Better range for the 170, but maybe more fun and better for towing and for transporting more people on the 230. No matter what horsepower option you choose, you can feel it sometimes when you're going over chop, especially when you're going over waves and you slap down on the other side. That's where the plasticky, the composites can be noticed, but really only when you're looking for it. If you're looking for it, if you're trying to listen, stress to hear it, then you're gonna catch it. But again, this is the trade-off. And one of the aspects of this is also one of the advantages, right? So the composite under the tunes on the bottom means that when you do beach, these composites are going to be a little more robust. They're going to withstand a lot more of the abrasions that you get on the sand and some small stones. And as I've heard anecdotally as well, it means with the modular production that they have that should you need to replace a tune or a segment, then that becomes possible and potentially more affordable as well, rather than costly repairs. Either way, for between 24 grand and just more than 50,000, including a trailer, it's crazy how much value you get for a pontoon boat that can do so much for everyone. The jet drive, especially the supercharged jet drive, does make a little more noise than, for example, the Manitou with its stealth drives. But even still, with the 230 cruising out at about 25 knots or so, you can still hear the very generous JL audio Bluetooth connected system, which makes it really enjoyable river cruiser and just something to get from A to B and to hang out on the water, especially when you stop, you sandbar, then those audio systems are really gonna come in handy. They have the base model, just called the Switch these days, and then you have the Sport, you have the Cruise, you have the Limited, and then you have the newest one, the Fish. So the differences in price, they are based on size and they're based on horsepower. And the different series will have their own set of accessories that come as standard. If you're looking at the base model Switch, it's available in 13, 16, and 19 feet with 130 or 170 horsepower. Once you get into the sport and the cruise, then there are other options that go up to 21 feet and to 230 horsepower for the longer boats. These Rotex motors, they can also be tuned. You can aftermarket tune them as well, up to around 250. I've heard 260, for example. And then you get to the sport model, where it's going to be designed for tubing, and then you'll have the pylons, and you'll have some of the storage possibilities to stash your skis, your wakeboard, for example. And then you get to the Cruise Limited, which is at around the top end of the price scale. The thing that separates the Cruise Limited, which is only going to be in production for a short while, is really the accessories. So we're talking about furniture that has the nice finish. It's a little nicer actually to the touch, and you get the lights underneath, which do add quite a bit of a nice sensation in the evenings. And then you get to the newest one, which is maybe the most interesting one and the most innovative one that might change boating for a lot of people on account of the growth in boating and the growth in fishing. That's what the Switch Fish does. It brings the whole package onto a pontoon that is easy to drive and is designed for multiple people fishing in whatever way they want. It includes the Force Kraken trolling motor. It has its own storage house and can even be controlled and monitored through the multifunctional displays that you can get, and even from some of Garmin's watch wearables. So when you're looking at the trade-offs, because it's all about trade-offs, but you're looking at from the range of 24 grand up to 50,000. The pros of it obviously are affordability. You have the versatility, the ability to take accessories, put them anywhere, setting up furniture anywhere. You have the way of driving the handlebars, the wicked braking system, and nice docking maneuverability. The whole experience is great. When you're looking at the cons, when you're looking at the negative points, then you're looking at maybe the sensation, the tactile sensation of parts of the boat. But right there, you're not really gonna find anything. There's some small details, like the fuel gauge, for example, has a step gauge. So it's not gonna be as accurate. It's gonna show maybe half a tank when in actual fact you're closer to a quarter of a tank. And you can make up with the multifunction displays that are more accurate versus a jet-driven boat at this cost point. And it's really something that the pros outweigh the cons. Sea-Doo has done something really interesting with the Sea-Doo Switch pontoon, and it's unique, it's different for all the reasons that I stated, but I think its success lies in the concept that Sea-Doo executed. They really hit this one out of the ballpark across the 4 series of different Switch pontoon models, from 24 grand all the way up to 52,000. It's a successful boat, and it's something that we look forward to seeing the next iterations of in the future. I'm Bradley from divein.com. Thanks for watching. See you out on the water.